Once you sign that piece of paper to get that 501c3, you have to tell them how much money you're getting, even if you don't pay any tax on that money. Because I'm telling you, $5 million ain't nothing. Ed alone had 2 Bentleys when he died. So when you start talking about Mercedes Benz and trips to Disney World, man, that ain't nothing. Them folks been doing this kind of stuff. But they also wasn't showing up at the Marriott with no big ass helmet on. Go ahead.
Federal and local law enforcement agents swarmed the headquarters of a hate group Tuesday morning to execute a search warrant in relation to an investigation into financial irregularities.
Right. So they're a hate group, but they're investigating financial irregularities. I don't think people really understand how serious Babylon takes their money. Because when you talk about even the black college that got shut down here, it didn't get shut down because the people weren't learning. It got shut down because they said they had financial irregularities. You start messing, with some money the wrong way, and that is definitely what will be used to bring your organization down. Go ahead.
The anti-white Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ on Madison Avenue in Harlem was roped off with police tape about 9 a.m. as agents wearing jackets bearing the logos of the FBI.
Consider all the people that's investigating them. Go ahead.
The Criminal Investigations Unit of the IRS.
Okay.
And the NYC Special Narcotics Unit.
Special Narcotics Unit. Go ahead.
And Homeland Security Investigations.
Homeland Security. Look at how many people investigate. The FBI, they needed all the help. They got everybody in here. The FBI, Criminal Investigation Unit of the IRS, the Special Narcotic, apparently they got weed, and then they got special weed. I don't know why they need there's special narcotics. They not regular narcotics unit, special narcotics unit. So I guess they got regular.
Unit went inside. Today, the FBI executed court-authorized law enforcement activity at multiple locations in furtherance of an ongoing investigation, a spokeswoman for the FBI said.
This is the bad part about it. When you back up and look at the things of what happened to the Black Panther Party, they went through all of these things, except they straight gunned them down. They straight went in and killed the Black Panther Party. And it was brought forth, even when you deal with some of these groups, even if you go on the Southern Poverty Law Center, they will tell you that some of those groups were brought forth out of mistreatment of black people. Even when you deal with the Black Panther Party, how black people were mistreated, how it was so many things that we were not given. Those things were the very things that caused the organization to form. They don't deal with any of those reasons. They don't deal with any of those things. They just come to shut down the organization. So they don't fix any of those things. They just gonna tell you, well, we know why they started. Go ahead.
The investigation is being spearheaded by the FBI field office in Newark. A source said that the feds are looking into the group's bookkeeping. The group has 4 locations in New Jersey. An IRS agent at the scene confirmed there was an active investigation into the church, but it was not clear what officials were investigating.
Right, because they had too many people investigating. They didn't know exactly what they were investigating. They were set out to find something. And when we give them more and more, they're going to find something. They got enough people there to look for something. Go ahead.
The agent declined to comment further.
Go to the next.
Members of the church can often be seen
proselytizing
on the street wearing colorful blue, black, and red tunics with sashes. They also often wear headdresses. The Southern Poverty Law Center has deemed the church a hate group, citing its leader, Jermaine Grant, who is called the Chief High Priest Tazadakia.
And one thing they keep putting, because understand that these are different articles. He once prophesied that a vengeful black Jesus would soon return to the earth to kill or enslave all whites. So in everything, they keep putting that out there. So whether you know it or not, you're going to have to deal with that statement. Although that statement wasn't made about you. You need to know that that statement going to come back to you sooner or later. Because somebody going to say, oh, you're Hebrew Israelite? Oh, you don't think Black Jesus is going to come back and kill all of us? Because understand, they put this on everybody. Don't you read this, and this is the problem sometimes. We'll read it and say, yeah, that's those people. No. When other people read it, they're going to say, that's all us. They just put all us in there. So you need to know what's being said and who's saying it. So when they start talking in some kind of strange code, you'll already be ready for, no, I know what you're talking about. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And let me tell you why. You know, I did that one day. When one of the people were trying to throw all of us in that same boat, and I did it to them. And boy, they was like, oh no, we don't molest children or anything in our organization. Oh no, we don't have anything to do with that. I said, wait a minute, you was okay with putting all of us in one boat? How was it wrong that I did the same thing to you? Then they said, okay, yeah, you're right. They only understood that they were doing it when I did it to them. Go ahead.
A representative from the Harlem location of the church could not be reached for comment.
Now, this is a question. Does anybody remember seeing the American Gangster movie? All right. The person that Denzel was playing was Frank White, right? Do y'all remember when he got the attention of the FBI?
Yep, and he showed up to the fight, sat in the front row.
Showed up to the fight with the big mink on. Mm-hmm. See, he had him a Mamacita, and Mamacita said, Papi, I want you to wear the big pink, the mink. The Papi, you look so good in the mink. Put the mink on all the way down to the floor. So he get the mink and go to the fight, right? The FBI is there to watch the mob. They see the brother sitting closer to the fight than the mob. So they're like, wait a minute. The people we here to investigate on row 9. Who the hell is the brother on row 1 with the full-length mink? This is how he got the attention of the FBI. Now, I bring that up for a reason. Read this next thing, bro.
A controversial church led by a Hackensack man has filed a lawsuit against a Connecticut toy maker.
This is how he got into the public arena. This is how all these people knew about him, because he was going to sue these people. Go ahead.
Claiming action figures the company produced in his likeness weren't up to par.
Mm-hmm.
According to the New York Daily News, the Harlem-based Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ is asking for the return of a $45,000 deposit and $120,000 in damages from the email Vical Corp, from the email Vical Corp, on the basis that it placed pointed noses and faces and lightened the skin of its leader, Jermaine Grant.
So let me run this back to you. So he paid for a little pocket guard to be made. Yeah, what y'all call it an action figure? It was a pocket guard. What I mean, he said he was the Comforter and the Holy Spirit. So when you made a little doll of the Comforter and the Holy Spirit, did you not understand what it was you were doing? So he paid these people to make this idol. The same images that's been getting us in trouble from the beginning of time. So now you're going to pay to make an image, and he said they didn't make the image black enough. Now, if you go back to the picture of him, they did lighten it up. They did. They made a light-skinned comforter, you know, and apparently he wanted to be a dark-skinned comforter, and they did that to him. You know, that part, you know, he was right about. But why are you making an idol anyway? I swear for God, if I go in any of y'all house and find a little sock, I'm going to hell off. I swear for God, I go in there and one of y'all done made a little sock, I'm going to hell off. What the hell is that? I am going off. Why does this man have a little light-skinned comforter? Go ahead, bro.
The Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ claims in a lawsuit that the doll pictured here is light brown, not dark brown, as the church requested, courtesy of email via court.
Now, on that, he was right. They did do that. Go ahead.
The church preaches that blacks are among the lost tribes of Israel, and Grant, who also calls himself the chief high priest Tazadakia,
yeah, they say the same thing again. Go to the next one.
Has predicted that a black Jesus will kill or enslave all white people upon his return to earth.
And you notice in each thing, they're going to keep putting that out. See, they trying to burn that in the mind of those people. Before they had the race riots in Atlanta, they were putting out newspapers then. And the newspaper would say, black brute rapes white woman. They would do it. They were infuriating people. So the people are getting more and more upset at every newspaper thing that they see. So when it came down to it, and that race thing started, they went down Auburn Avenue and all of them places, and they just started beating and killing people. But how did they build that up? From the inflammatory news articles, from the things that they were putting in there. Well, they're doing the same thing, but it's even worse now because they put it on television. And then they're showing us the images of young black males doing some ungodly things. I mean, they're doing some things that they've gotten to the point where the most feared people in the street are the young black boys. You see a big black dude come up to you, you know what, you're not as worried as the little 85-pound dude with his pants hanging down. Because that 85-pound dude will blow your brains out. This is what the thing is starting to show now. Because they see that same thing over and over again. Some things where they rob somebody, get the money, and still shoot the person. It's a different mindset coming from this younger generation, and they're showing that same thing over and over and over again. I know white people go to jail. I know Hispanics go to jail. But you don't see them on the news. Just us. And you have to go to jail. Go and we've gone and taught in there, and we're trying to figure out how these white people get in here. So room full of white people. How they get in here? Because we'll never see them on TV, but they in jail right with the black folk. How they get in here? They got Mexicans in there. How they get in here? They're not on the news. Everybody wants to see us. They want to see us either doing good or doing bad. It doesn't matter. You still affect everything that goes on, whether good or bad. People are supposed to want to look at you. But those things are happening in a very negative way. Go ahead, bro.
The Southern Poverty Law Center classifies the church as a hate group. According to the SPLC's website, it maintains chapters in various cities around the country, including Jersey City, Vineland, Asbury Park, and Camden. Vical Corp, based in Oxford, Connecticut, regularly produces action figures that bear likeness to controversial celebrities, including Sarah Palin, Anthony Weiner, and Patricia Krenzel, the so-called tan mom from Nutley.
So, a lot of times you sue people, but what people haven't considered is these people who have had money for a long time, they also have connections. And you may find yourself in an altercation or in something that happens, and then all of a sudden you start having problems in another area. Well, they done called out some favors to their friends. Say, yeah, man, this dude trying to sue us about this action figure. Let's remind these people that they black. And that often happens to a lot of us when we get a certain amount of money. We forget we black. And somewhere down the line, they come and send you one of them reminders. By the way, you knew you still black, right? And that normally ends up with either us going to jail or losing some kind of stuff. when we get to that point that we forget that we still black. Go ahead.
According to the Daily News, Grant lives in a Hackensack home he purchased for $700,000 in 2005.
And in the grand scheme of things, with the money that the Christian church is spending and the houses that they have, man, this is not even a drop in the bucket. So it's not really about the money. It was about, you know, really making a statement and setting forward what it is they wanted to do. When you look, the organizations that seem like they preach hate, you ever notice how fast they spread? You ever notice how many, how they get buildings and stretch out, and you got people, I mean, they can, what it take other organizations years to do, they almost do in months. And you look, and it's going from place to place, and they're allowed to stand on the corner. I watched a video where somebody was recording where the guy said he was going to rape a white woman and they were going to like it. And he told them, you know, we got this out the book. So the white girl said, well, show me where you got that at. You know, she's scared to, you know, hold up the camera. But he's reading where it says, and the women shall be ravaged. See that? See, we're going to ravage you. You're going to like it. I said, what the hell? But see, they using them people to come and kill all us. While y'all can sit there passive if you want, while they put those things out there and think, well, that ain't got nothing to do with us. Man, they trying to put all us in the same bucket so that they can deal with all of us in one big swoop. So when that stuff come out, you have to end up dealing with it. And I can't deal with the hypocrisy on one side without dealing with the other. Like I said, yeah, $5 million is a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, it ain't nothing. Gruffalo just got him a, what, $3 million jet? Right. The interior in there probably cost $5 million. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 7.
Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Also, you son of man, thus said the Adonai Yah, unto the land of Israel, an end. The end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now is the end come upon you, and I will send mine anger upon you, and will judge you according to your ways, and will recompense upon you all your abominations.
Right. So, understanding who Israel is, understanding that Yahshua had to come and be sacrificed for the children of Israel. People will say that Christ came for the whole world. No, he didn't. He came to set forth Israel in their right place. Then Israel has to be sacrificed for the rest of the world. See, you have a role to play in the redemption of the entire earth. But what they want to do is they want to go directly to Yahweh and bypass Israel. And it ain't set up like that. It ain't going to happen. And this is what they have been trying to do. They've been putting on this program about the Pope. And, you know, we had mentioned before that the Vatican was basically the smallest country in the world. You know, they had their own, they have their own sovereignty. Now, I knew that. I never knew how they got it, though. Well, the little miniseries that they put on just said how they got it. And when Mussolini was setting up all his evil stuff, he made an agreement with the Pope and said, look, if you stay out, you stay out on the floor, if you stay out of the religious part, if you stay out of politics, we will give you a paperwork that will make you a sovereign nation. This is why to this day, the Catholic priests can't go to jail when they molest all them children. They have sovereignty, which means they have, like when we used to watch those movies and they say, I have diplomatic immunity. Well, that's what the Catholic priests have. They have diplomatic immunity because basically they have a country that you have to deal with. You can't just lock those people up. But they made that by stepping out of the way during a world war and say, all right, we'll let y'all do whatever y'all gonna do, kill as many people as you gonna kill if you go ahead and give us this sovereignty. And that's how they got it. And then the next go round, when you then get into all of the things that happened to the Jewish people, the Catholic Church was right there as well, stepping aside, letting all of those things go on. So some of the power that they have, it was some real evil decisions and agreements that were made for them to be able to have that power. Go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 4. And mine eyes shall not spare you, neither will I have pity, but I'll recompense your ways upon you, and your abominations shall be in the midst of you, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. Thus said the Adonai Yah, an evil, and only evil, behold, is come. An end is come, the end is come. It watches for you. Behold, it is come. The morning is come unto you, O you that dwelleth in the land. The time is come, the day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains. Now will I shortly pour out my fury upon you, and accomplish my anger upon you, and I'll judge you according to your ways, and will recompense you for all your abominations. All mine eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity. I will recompense you according to your ways and your abominations that are in the midst of you, and you shall know that I am Yahweh that smiteth. Behold the day, behold, it is come, the morning is gone forth, the rod has blossomed, pride has budded. Violence is risen up into a rod of wickedness. None of them shall remain, nor of their multitude, nor of any of theirs. Neither shall there be wailing for them. The time is come, the day draws near. Let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn. For anger is upon all the multitude thereof. For the seller shall not return to that which is sold, although they were yet alive. For the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which shall not return, neither shall any strengthen himself in the lawlessness of his life.
Verse 13, for the seller shall not return to that which is sold, although they were yet alive. Now, when you don't understand the culture of Israel and how land basically stays in that family, it basically stays with all of those people. So that if something is sold in the point of the Jubilee, that thing is then returned back to those people. So it will never be a part or a situation in Israel where land just comes outside of a family. Once Yahweh sets us back up in the land and tells us what this is where you are, this is where your people are supposed to be. Once that is set up, it's going to forever be that way. It's never going to change. This is why he was saying that the women just can't marry anybody. The men can't just marry anybody. When you start marrying outside of your tribes, once Yahweh set those up, you're transferring that land from tribe to tribe. The land ain't gonna change just because you saw somebody that you like. Once Yahweh set that back up, because that's the way it was in the beginning, and that's the way it's going to be set up again in the end. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 14. They have blown the trumpet, even to make all ready, but none goes to the battle, for my anger is upon all the multitude thereof. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. But they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, and all of them mourning, every one for his lawlessness. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads.
And if we take all of these things into consideration, that walking away from the culture that Yahweh has given us ends up putting us in a situation where we didn't have to receive all of this punishment. When you consider nobody else has had to endure constant captivity, but when you consider what he said, I have created you for my glory. I created you to be a servant unto me. In the beginning of the book, it says, if you don't serve me, then you'll have to serve your enemy in your enemy's land. So one way or another, we're going to be a servant. You need to make a decision whose servant you're going to be. Either you're going to serve Yahweh, or you're going to serve whatever country he decides to throw us in. Go ahead.
Verse 19, they shall cast their silver in the street, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahweh. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither will their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their lawlessness. As for the beauty of his ornament, he set it in majesty. But they made the images of their abominations and of their detestable things therein. Therefore have I set it far from them.
As for the beauty of his ornament, he set it in majesty, but they made the images of their abominations. So we then see the nations and how they have images everywhere. They have idols everywhere. So then we start picking up these images and these idols. This is the real reason why Yahweh ended up telling Israel, marry from your own people. Because you have a real problem when you start dealing with other people. You take on all their mess. See, we don't go amongst other people and walk in our culture. We go among other people and we pick up their culture. Instead of telling them, no, this is the culture we're supposed to walk in. This is what we're supposed to do. No, that's not what we do. We go amongst other people and then we mingle all their stuff into ours. They always say, you don't really understand who you are. They're supposed to be doing what you do. You're not supposed to be doing what they do. To this day, even if we do stupidness, all the nations turn around and do stupid right behind us. They love when we do something stupid. You look at commercials, it's people trying to do and act like us. Y'all seen the commercial with a lady bagging up the car and she got to play the song, Bag That Thing Up. And the white girl say, do you have to play that song? Only when I bag this thing up. It is entertaining to be you. Everybody want to be you. We had the European brothers tell us, man, in Europe, everybody talk about black Americans. Everybody want to be you. And you have no idea. But see, with that wanting to be you, there's also a little bit of hatred there too. See, there's just a hint of anger in there. Because see, the adversary, the devil, want to be Yahweh. But how can you completely be somebody else as long as that other person is there? So that means at some point, after I get through studying you, I got to get you. Because I can't be you if you're still you. So to fully be you, after I get everything of you, I need to get you out the door. But I got to wait until I get everything from you. I got to learn everything you do. And after that, I need you to die. So the adversary, the devil, is using all of whoever he can use. It doesn't matter about color. That means absolutely nothing to him. He hates all flesh. He used white, black, Spanish. He used anybody he can corrupt. He used them. Matter of fact, most of the problems that we're gonna have gonna be from people who look just like us. So if you got that color thing in your head, you're gonna have you some serious problems. And one thing you're gonna find out about a demonic spirit, it jumps from body to body. So it'll jump in one body and cause some problems, And while you focusing on that body, that demon get out of that body, go into another. Now you still arguing with the body that he used the first time, but he over here now. Then as soon as you focus over there, now he over there. Then he just keep moving. So then what we have to do is notice the attributes of a spirit. Then that way you can tell, oh, no. You over on this side now. Because I see the attributes of what is happening. Not what it looked like, but how it moves. Go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 21. And I'll give it into the hands of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it. My face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place, for the robbers shall enter into it and defile it.
Right. You see the graphic where they got the so-called locks that the people be wearing in Israel, but they got all the in the gay colors and all of that. All that stuff happened in Israel. They got one of the biggest gay parades ever going on in Israel. All the fighting, the killing, all of these things. He says, I'm going to give your land to the worst of the heathen. And we don't consider that. We still walking around talking about we're going to go to the Holy Land. We're going to do this in the Holy Land. And we have not considered, do you understand what has happened unto the Holy Land? Do you understand just how defiled that land has been? Because we're not in it. It don't even look the way it's supposed to look. It ain't going to look like that when you get in. But not when you go singularly yourself. No, when the children of Israel return as a whole. So you and your buddies can go and make a trip. That ain't going to change that. Yahweh is dealing with the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
Make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses.
Uh-huh.
I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy places shall be defiled.
Uh-huh.
Destruction comes, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and counsel from the ancients.
Right. And you can look at some of the things that are being done, and you can see that the law has left from the priesthood. You can see some of the things that are coming upon us that we have completely walked against Yahweh's law. And the people who are being directed by the adversary, the devil, know that the way that you keep these people powerless is you make sure that they constantly walk against that law. This is why every Sunday morning is being taught, go against that law. Because they know where they're getting their money and their power and influence from. So they're being taught, make sure that you teach these people to go against that law. So even the ones that are trying to back their way back into this culture, they're doing it without saying it. For Joel Osteen to come out and say he's been keeping the dietary law for what, 2 years? And hadn't even told none of the people of his congregation? Why would you do that? Then I look at some of the churches that they've built them another building. The building not built with the 3 pyramids in front. They took the things off as far as the Baptists. They came up out of that Baptist convention. These people are backing out of, they realize, look at how many churches that used to be Baptists are now saying that they're non-denominational. What they're trying to do is back out of this evil agreement without telling anybody that they was in an evil agreement. So they hear all the same stuff that you hear. They're watching these videos. They know that people know what's going on. And if you pay attention, you start. A lot of people don't even look to see that there are church names that all of a sudden the Baptist is missing. Wait a minute. It looked like it's the same name, but something missing. Right. They're backing out of those agreements. Then they start having, and I passed them just on the way here, optional Saturday service. They're trying to backdoor their way into keeping the Sabbath. See? So make it optional. Try to get as many people to start doing it as possible so that you can still say, okay, well, we offer a Sabbath. We offer certain things. But they haven't just now known this. What's happening is more and more people are talking about it. So some decisions have to be made. Go ahead.
Verse 27. The king shall mourn, and the prince shall be clothed with desolation, and the hands of the people of the land shall be troubled. I will do unto them after their way, and according to their deserts will I judge them, and they shall know that I am Yahweh.
So to sum all the things up, there was a morning oblation and an evening oblation. These things were to happen every day. When we consider in the beginning of spiritual things, Yahshua was our morning sacrifice to put Israel in the right place. And then Israel is that evening sacrifice. And when this sacrifice is completed, we shall live in peace in our own land. That's all that we're going to do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.